Today we're going to be making this cool ink bleed text effect in After Effects. Okay, so we're here in After Effects, and I'm going to create a new composition, clicking here, and I'm going to keep my aspect ratio at 3840 by 1920 pixels. I'm going to hit OK. So all you're really going to need here is a paper texture. Everything else we'll be making strictly in After Effects. So I have this one over here from Texture Labs, which is a really detailed high definition one, and I'll leave that exact one down in the description below. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to drag it down. So what I actually want to do first is change the color of this paper so we get a more weathered, yellowy, vintage look. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to come down here, right click, go to New, and then click Shape Layer. Now with that shape layer selected, I'm going to come over to the rectangle tool, double click on the rectangle tool, and we want to make sure we have a fill color and no stroke. So if it says stroke up here, just click stroke, and then click that, get rid of that stroke, and then make sure you have the fill on. You could turn it on here. If it's off, turn it on like that. So you want this kind of brownish, yellowy look. Of course, I already have the color saved because I did this project before, but if you want the exact same color, there's a code right down there, or you can use whatever color you want. So now we're going to come down here and click on our paper texture, and we're going to bring that to the top over the shape layer. Now over here where it says mode and normal by our paper texture, we're going to click normal and then hit luminosity. So now we got this kind of yellowish brown look, which I think looks pretty good. Now we actually want to get our text on screen. So what we're going to do here is come back down here, right click again, hover over new, and then we're going to click text. And then I'm just going to write something like old writing or something like that. Oops. Now this font that I'm using to get this kind of cursive look is After Effects built-in font, and it's called Snell Roundhand. So you can just click there and then find that, or find another text that you like. Now I'm pretty okay with the size here. If you want to change the size, you can do that right here, but I'm going to leave that as is. And we want to make sure we have our fill on and our stroke, and that they're both completely black. And then I have my stroke width to 6, but you can change that to whatever you like, but I think this is a pretty good size. So now with our text layer selected down here, we're going to come to Effects and Presets right here. And then I'm going to find one of my favorite effects. It's called Turbulent Displacement. And we're going to drag that over and plop it down right on our first layer right there. So first I want to bring the complexity value all the way up to 10. Then I want to bring the amount to something around 30. We'll do like 28. And then the size to 8. So now it's just kind of displaced, and you can see it doesn't look as perfect as it did before. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just come right down here, select our text layer once again, and then hit Command D to duplicate it. I'm also going to bring that layer down to the bottom, but they're both the same, so it doesn't really matter in this case. But we are going to select the second layer here, and then we're just going to change these values up here once again. So I'm going to change the amount, bring it up a little bit. We'll do something like 40, and then for the size, I'm going to change it to something greater again. We'll do like 15. And I think that looks pretty good, but we need to bring down the opacity now so they look a little layered. So I'm going to come down here, and where you see this little arrow, I'm going to click that, and then by transform, I'm going to hit that arrow once again. And then I'm going to bring the opacity down until we get something that we like. Let's see. I think somewhere around, we'll do 40. 40 looks pretty good to me. So now you can see this kind of ink bleed thing that we got going here. And so far, it's looking pretty good. But we're going to do this one more time. So we're going to select that second layer now, and then hit Command D, and then bring that third layer, or that third duplicate, down to the third layer. Now we're just going to change these values once again. So I'm going to change the amount, bring it up just a tiny bit. I'll do like 42. And then the size, I'm going to bring up quite a bit. Let's try 86. Let's see how that looks. Oh, all right. That does not look good. So we're going to bring down that size a little bit until we get something that looks a lot better. Let's see. I'm like in, I think somewhere around 40 looks pretty good. And then we're just going to click this again, open up that transform, and then change the opacity to something like, let's see, 12. I'm actually going to increase that just a little bit, maybe 15 so we could see it a little better. And there you go. You pretty much have the full effect right here with this text that looks like the ink is bleeding into the paper and like it's been weathered for a while. But I want to do one more little detail that I think will help out a little bit. So we're going to select our first layer here and then go back down to effects and presets. And this time we're going to try the other turbulent effect, and we're going to select that turbulent noise and drag that onto just that top layer right there. So now it looks a little bit cloudy. So we're going to change these contrast and brightness settings right here. So I'm going to bring the contrast up to, we'll just double it, 200, and then change the brightness. We'll bring that down to something like -50. We'll go a little more. We'll do -60. All right, so now if you look really closely, you can kind of see this white cloudiness on the black ink. And I think it gives that look of kind of a glare coming off of, you know, some pen writing. It's a little shiny and the light's hitting it a little bit. I guess you can't really tell unless you look really close, but you know, it's that little attention to detail that really counts. And there we go, we're all finished. We have this ink bleed text effect in After Effects, which I think is pretty cool. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.